Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 67 of Cute Little Love Letters, and this one is titled Denki and Yin. What do you mean by hold back? You ask curiously. Well, like, Denki mumbled, standing back up again and avoiding eye contact as he pushed his hands into his pockets. I'm a guy, right? And we get ideas, and I just want to... he groaned, taking his hands from his pockets and pressing them to the sides of his head. I don't want to push you beyond what you want to do, and I don't want to scare you, but I'm just really, really into you, like crazy. If you asked me to fly to space and get you some stars, you know I'd do it, he said, dropping his hands and giving you a forlorn look. Do you feel that way about me too, or am I crazy? You stood there, still pressed back first against the tree trunk. Denki, I'm always trying to look to see where you are. I don't want to stop looking at you. I love your cuddles and your kisses, and I feel recharged when you hold me. I really, really like you too. I'm just still trying to get a hold of my feelings, but I know I really like you. Yin, he said, stepping forwards and placing both hands beside your head against the trunk. I know this might sound wild, but when we're older, I want to marry you. Can I make a promise to you right now? That we'll get married? You're my everything. I love you. Your heart skipped too many beats you thought it was going to start beating backwards, and you placed your hands gently on either side of his cheeks. I want you to be with me for the rest of my life, he said softly as he leaned into you. I love you too. And your mouths parted and pressed together again. Your eyes had closed as he had kissed you, and you heard him take a deep breath in, and then he took one of his hands from the tree and wrapped it around your back, pulling your body to his. It felt nice to have his arms around you, so you slid your hands from his cheeks to around his neck and squished your front to his, while he let go of the tree entirely and wrapped his other arm around behind you too, giving you the biggest hug while your mouths remained locked together. He pulled his head back and then came back in again and did it again and again, your lips meeting and parting a few times before you felt the tip of his tongue touch yours. This was a whole new sensation for you, and you gripped onto him tightly, as he did onto you. You let the tongue kissing continue for a little bit, and then pulled back as he let you go. I'm sorry. Did I go too far? He asked with fear. That was amazing, but see, this is what I'm saying. I just can't hold back. I just want to keep kissing you all day. No, it's okay. It's just all really new to me, and I don't know what to make of it, but it makes me feel really nice inside, and I get tingly, you admitted shyly. Same with me, he said excitedly, stoked that you both appeared to be on the same page. But should we catch up? The others might start to wonder where we are, you said, and Denki suddenly remembered that, yes, you were with your classmates, and yes, you were supposed to be on a walk with them. Whoops, he said loudly. Okay, yeah, better go. But I really want more of those kisses. Me too, don't worry. We can sneak away and have another kiss later today, you said, feeling devious for the first time in your life. Denki gave you a giant grin and then wiggled his eyebrows. I'm down, he replied with a sexy smirk. But for now, let's hold hands and run. Okay, you giggled, taking his hand in yours and sprinting with him around the tree and down the track to find the others. The group had stopped up ahead and were taking pictures when Ida had noticed that you and Denki had gone missing and was about to start sending out a search, but stopped when he saw you running along the track together. Where were you two? What happened? He asked, chopping his hand at Denki. I need to tie her shoelace, Denki said, pointing at you. You looked down to see sandals strapped to your feet, no shoelaces, and then looked up at Ida, who was now looking at your shoelaceless sandals too. Denki hummed, having seen there was no shoelaces on your shoes. Kaminari, there are no shoelaces, Ida said, chopping his hand at Denki again. I meant mine, he said quickly, and looked down to see his laces tucked inside his shoes instead of them being tied together. Oops. Still haven't tied them, he said, as he let your hand go and crouched to tie them up. Not sticking with the group is a punishable offence, Kaminari, and I will have to discuss the appropriate disciplinary measures with the appropriate adult, Ida said sternly, pushing his glasses further up on his nose with one hand, while the other hand chopped away mid-air. Excuse me, Ida, sir, I apologise, you said quickly. Denki, Kaminari was covering for me. The truth is, I had a sore stomach from overeating at breakfast time and then walking too fast. I needed to stop for a little bit to ease the cramping. I'm sorry, you said, looking him in the eye to see if he would buy your story. Oh, I do apologize then, Ida said with a small bow. I can understand the embarrassment of the situation. In future, please refrain from overeating. It is not good for your constitution and can cause stomach aches like you've experienced. Do you require medical assistance? He then asked. Oh, no, thank you kindly, but I'll be okay from here, you said with a polite smile. You are most welcome. See to it that you inform me if you feel ill again, he said, before bowing again and turning to face forwards on the track. Let us continue, he called to Momo, who was up the front leading the group, and started walking again. Everyone headed on and Denki stood up. Wow, he whispered to you. You actually handled him really well. I'm surprised you could tell a story like that. I don't think you've ever lied before, have you? He asked. You shook your head. I've never even thought about lying because Mum can read auras, so she could tell if I had done something I shouldn't have anyway, but mostly she taught me truth, and we've always lived with honesty at the heart of our family. It's not really a bad thing because it feels much better to tell the truth anyway, and I've never felt the need to lie, but I realised his quirk isn't the ability to read auras, so it would be okay to tell him a story and he wouldn't know. You said, well, you saved me. And you saved me from having to tie my shoes, because I don't know how to tie laces, Denki said with a pleading face. I just tucked the laces into my shoes. If he'd waited for me to tie them, I would have had a meltdown, he admitted with an embarrassed chuckle. I can teach you, you said with a smile. But you look cute with your laces tucked into the sides of your shoes. Oh, thanks, cutie, he replied as he retook your hand in his and squeezed it. Oh, just like all of you. You're just amazing. You giggled and pulled on his hand. Come on, let's catch up a bit and take some pictures, you said as you pulled him into a run. That mid-morning was amazing. The lookout was beautiful and so was the beach beyond. You and Denki took lots of pictures together, hugging, smiling, holding hands. It was everything that you'd hoped it would be, and by the time that you all got back to the beach house, you were a little tired and ready for lunch. Lunch, again, was top tier, and Ida even came over to make sure that you weren't going to eat too much, which you thought was very kind of him, and you felt a little bad for lying to him, but at the same time you were kind of proud of yourself for being able to think that quick. And then after lunch, you all had a little downtime. Momo had organised the staff members to set up some of the beach swings in the trees and some hammocks, and there was a giant hammock that you and Denki quickly occupied, squealing and laughing as you both tried to hop into it without flipping it over. It's quite big, Denki said once you had both gotten into it, the sides of it curling up and over you both like a cocoon. It's very cosy in here, you said as your body pressed into his side, your legs intertwined with his. Lots of cute little tooth-rotting fluff. I hope you've all been to the dentist recently. Stay tuned for chapter 68 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.